presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Light of God surrounding us, love of God enfolding us, power of God protects us, the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Good morning, everybody. And it is a good morning. It is a good morning. I got out of bed and I said, I'm going for it.
It's the only January 28th, 2024 that we got. So
And
let's
this is
make
a
the
very
most of
special
it.
year. It's a leap year, in case anybody didn't notice.
I'm leaping.
And I always thought that was so lucky and wonderful to have a leap year. Yeah! So let's join together for Surely the Presence. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. I can feel God's mighty power and God's grace. I can feel the brush of angels' wings, see glory on each face. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. I can feel God's mighty power and God's grace. I can hear the brush of angels' wings, see glory on each face. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place.
Good morning. Good morning. Is this microphone working? I feel really quiet this morning. Woohoo! Thank you, Rick. Good morning. Welcome to Sunday service at Everett Unity. Let's start our time together today with a reading from the Daily Word. Sunday, January 28th. While we may not be able to control what is happening around us, we have the power to choose our response. Even though it may seem paradoxical, assuming complete responsibility for our reactions and choices is the key to our freedom. No one and nothing can make you feel a certain way. Living from this awareness gives us the power to create our life from the inside out. We choose our thoughts, words, and actions. If we don't like what our life is showing us, we have the power to make new choices. We do not squander our spiritual freedom. Other people and worldly situations have no control over us. Taking full responsibility for our life, we are free to create our future by living from our divinity. And the scripture today from 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 16. As servants of God, live as free people, yet do not use your freedom as a pretext for evil. Seems like a timely message. Our chaplain will lead us in an opening prayer. There we go, sweetie. I think that's okay.
Well, good morning.
Good morning.
I'm going to take just a minute to myself and breathe so I can soak up your energy. It's nice to see you all. Thank you. Okay, let's take a moment to settle into our heart space. As we breathe together, picture a bird flying freely to a destination. Take a deep breath in and hold it, and exhale. Again, visualize the bird flying freely. Breathe in, exhale, and relax. Mother, Father, God, we are so thankful that belief in the Christ sets us free. We are the freedom of spirit. Freedom is a choice we make thought by thought, day by day. When we release old ways of thinking and feeling and judgments of others, we have the freedom to make new choices. Each experience then becomes an opportunity to learn and grow to be our best self. We can create our outlook despite the obligations and responsibilities we experience. Knowing our freedom, our mind power frees us from limiting circumstances and situations. With our creative minds, we can envision the very best that we can imagine. Our attributes will enable us to make our ultimate determinations in the interests of ourselves and others. When we place our focus and energy on something, we create our own reality. Along our spiritual journey, we have many opportunities to grow and learn and change. We are constantly changing. By relying on the presence of God within, we know the truth and become more aware of our indwelling divinity. This will lead us to peace. In our journey, our choices for freedom may cause us to stumble and fall. These circumstances happen because we are human. Our spiritual self wants us to learn. God's comfort is always with us. We choose our path with all its twists and turns. We can actually goof confidently. Spirit then speaks to us, saying gently, "You are free. Make a better choice." And we remember, all is God, and God is all good. Sweet Spirit, we are so grateful for our opportunities and freedom to choose our paths. Our thoughts, attitudes, and beliefs make us who we are. We don't have to stay in a place that no longer serves us. We are free to create our own reality without neglecting our responsibilities. Spiritual change brings our freedom, authenticity, wholeness, and worthiness. Thank you, Father. And so it is. Amen. And I'm going to finish with a poem that I wrote to you, the congregation. and it's called Goodbye. Korea was far away. I had dreamed of adopting since I was a child. I knew she was there, waiting like I was for our souls to find each other. But we were already connected. Many Korean children were arriving that day, but my eyes found her. I pointed and told my husband, "There's our baby." I was right, 18 months old, being carried down the escalator. She and I have always been together. Lifetimes, I think. We are truly soulmates. All grown up now, in her 40s, a family of her own. They moved to Arizona. It broke my heart. We both cried. After about 3 years, I woke up one morning and my little voice within asked, "What are you doing? You can do this. You're ready. Go to Arizona and be close to your daughter and family." This church is my home. No other family here, my holidays alone. In between visits, my youngest granddaughter grew 7 inches. At Thanksgiving, I hardly knew her. She was well known for growth spurts, but that was ridiculous. The soft voice within again said, "You can do this. It's right." My greatest loss is all of you, our beautiful church, the board, and especially being a prayer chaplain. I have found joy in this, plus I have learned so much. Thank you for allowing me to be a chaplain here at Unity. I'm off to a new adventure. Who would have thought? I'll be 74 in March. But the small voice within says, now's the time. I will miss this lovely congregation and the people I now adore. I have been so very blessed. Thank you. Being here has given me great joy. I love you.
Oh, we love you. Okay, you're definitely making my mascara run.
Mine too.
Oh my gosh, Nancy. In a way, you can think of this song for you.
Oh, this is the one in the hymn?
Yeah, oh, that's right. Some of you might not remember this one. It's 241, and it's the greatest thing.
We are so unused to using hymnals that we forgot, but it's actually in that book in
Number
front of you.
241, the greatest thing in all my life is knowing you, and I want to know you more. The greatest thing in all my life is loving you. I want to love you more. The greatest thing in all my life is serving you. I want to serve you more. The greatest thing in all my life is knowing you. The greatest thing in all my life is knowing you. I want to know you more, know you more. The greatest thing in all my life is knowing you. Loving. The greatest thing in all my life is loving you. The greatest thing in all my life is loving you. I want to love
just loving you.
And knowing
Greatest thing in all my life is knowing
Okay, well, I knew that was coming, and I still wasn't even ready for it. Well, good morning. Welcome again to Everett Unity. I'd like to start by introducing you to the people who are most visibly serving you today. You were greeted by our ushers, Treese and Mary. Yvonne is hosting our social hour. Terry and Rick are providing audio-video support. Nancy, our chaplain, you met her a moment ago. Sally, Doug, and Richard are providing music for us. Welcome back, y'all. My name is Cindy, and Doug Benecke will be our speaker today. So a reminder, if you brought your cell phone in, please turn that off now. We have wonderful music without your cell phone ringer. Without your cell phone ringer. We'll have a nice quiet meditation here in a moment. And I'd like to remind you, if you are here for the first time or if for any other reason you'd like a packet of information describing Everett Unity, you can ask the ushers on your way out. We'd like to send you home with some information about our community. We hope you have a wonderful time and that you choose to come back and join us again. So I have a few announcements I want to go through. First of all, I'd like to have Katie come up and talk to you about what's happening right here in this room on February 3rd, next Saturday. Come on up, Katie.
Good morning. Well, the lesson, the prayer, everything kind of blends into what I wanted to mention to you today. When I asked Cindy if we could do another fundraiser for the church several months ago, and she said yes, I thought, oh, I better write one. I better write a program because the information that I've been using is a little outdated. So I got to writing this. I was going to really good. Well, I've already done that. Okay. Well, no, I've already done that too. So at some point, I just said, God, which I should have done in the beginning, but you know, we think we can run the show. God, what do I need to do? And the program wrote itself. And it's different, and it's research-based, and it's pretty amazing. The focus is not on weight. The focus is on brain and heart. And, you know, I found out something really interesting. When you do what's best for your brain and your heart, you lose weight, and you eat healthier, and you move more. So I want to, right? So here's what I want to do. I want you to imagine that you're a magnet for anyone who needs to hear this, for anyone who needs help with their brain and their heart and their sugar. I did get one old thing in, sugar. And be a magnet for them to start talking to you about it, and they don't know why they're talking to you about it, but you go, I know a program that might help you. So we're all big magnets, attracting to ourselves those who need this message, okay, so that we may be in service. And I have some more brochures that I have magnetized for you to help gather together the people who need to hear this. And it's next Saturday. Today's the last day for the early bird discount. Early bird not being a dinner you have at 4 o'clock, but so I want to thank you for all your support, and let's get this community writ large healthier. Thank you.
Thank you, Katie. And what she didn't mention is that 50% of the registration fee will come here to the church as the fundraiser. So I'm really excited about it. I saw the old program. I can't wait to see the new program. I think it's going to be really wonderful. So let me remind you also, the following Sunday, February 11th, after we've all been here on Saturday the 3rd, on February the 11th, is the annual membership meeting. We do this every single year. It's required by our bylaws. It's an opportunity for the board to report to you, the congregation, what our financial situation is, what we have accomplished in the last year. It's an opportunity for you as the community to speak to your board and ask questions and find out answers to things you've been wondering about. And it is also the opportunity for us to vote in 2 new board members. So that's the really important thing. You know, we have 6 board members who work behind the scenes tirelessly to make sure that things keep working around here. So I remind you, in conjunction with the annual membership meeting, your membership status is really important. Everyone is welcome and encouraged to attend if you want to know more about the community, but only registered members can vote, and only registered members can vote for the board of directors. So that's important if you're interested in having a say in that. So not next Sunday, but the following Sunday, February 11th, right after the service here in the sanctuary. And so, do you have another microphone for me, please, Rick? Thank you very much, Mary. We're just going to do a little organizing, just a second. Mary, will you take? Yes. Okay, hello. Good morning. Good morning. There we go. Okay, great. Well, you heard from our head chaplain, Nancy, that she's going to be moving to Arizona. And I'm very happy for her, and I'm very sad for me personally, and I'm very sad for our community. It's a loss for us. Nancy has been a member of this church since the mid-1980s. In that prior century. She's one of those kinds of people who does whatever needs to be done. She steps up and volunteers in all kinds of ways that people don't really know about. And with her move to Arizona, it brings a big change in our community because we lose our head chaplain. And we don't have a person who is ready yet to step up into that position. So we are going to be disbanding our chaplain program for the foreseeable future. So that's a big change for us. We have been privileged to have these women here helping us and praying with us and providing so much support throughout our services. It's going to be a big change for us. Now, the most immediate way it will change for you is you won't have on-site prayer support. But guess what? We have at our fingertips the best prayer place on the whole planet, Silent Unity. You may notice that little postcard you got in your program this morning. I wanted to make sure you knew how to get in touch with them. And guess what? They're available a lot more frequently than our prayer chaplains are, because our prayer chaplains don't work at 4 in the morning. Isn't that crazy? Well, I'd love to have our 3 chaplains, Nancy and Candy and Pam, please come forward so that we can recognize them. I'd like to thank you all for your service. Everyone's come forward. Thank you. Yes, here you go. Yes. So these women, Pam and Nancy and Candy, have given selflessly of their time. I don't think many of you realize what responsibility chaplains have. They have weekly prayer support with each other. They have ongoing training. They are required every year to recertify. They have put a lot of time and effort into supporting this community. And it has been my honor and my privilege to work with women who are so committed to their faith family and who really are of service in so many ways. I want to thank you so much. And we look forward to working with you in the other ways that you serve Everett Unity, and we will look forward to postcards and pictures and regular contact from you. Pam and I were talking last week about the opportunity that we have now at Everett Unity to revision what this program might look like, to really enhance and improve your prayer life, which is what Unity is all about. That's what it's all about. So if you would take a moment and give a rousing applause and thank you to these wonderful women. Thank you very much. We really appreciate you. All right, we are ready to sing together again.
Repeat after me. I am like the wind.
I am like the wind.
Nothing can hold me. Nothing can hold me. I belong to everyone.
I belong to everyone.
No one can own me.
No one can own me.
The whole world is my home.
The whole world is my home.
All are my family.
All are my family.
I live in every heart. I live in every heart. I will never leave thee.
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 I am like the wind.
Like the wind,
Nothing can hold me.
nothing can hold me.
I belong to everyone.
I belong to everyone.
No one can own me.
No one can hold me.
The whole world is my home.
The whole world is my home.
All are my family.
All are my family.
I live in every heart.
I live in every heart.
I will never leave thee. 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 I
I
will
will
never
never leave thee.
I will never leave thee. I will
Never
never.
leave thee. Let us take some moments together now to dwell in that constancy of God. God reaches out to us each moment with that message: I will never leave thee. Please allow, as you like, your breath to deepen, your heart to soften. Let us take these few precious moments together to dwell in the presence. Spirit ever calling us home. Always there for us like the air, like the blood in our bloodstream, closer to us than our own breath. I open to your presence now, loving Spirit of God. I open my heart to your presence so that I may serve. We'll just take some moments with no narrative to dwell with God. Father, Mother, God, may we remember to turn to your presence. May we ever be ready to open that gift.
In this world, every road I walk down, through life's mystery, there are strangers and
pour out a blessing on me. Pour out a blessing on me.
And to pour out a blessing on me.
Beautiful. Beautiful job, hon. These blessings are here every moment when we are open to receive them. We felt blessed to have our dog, Cooper, for several years now. He makes us laugh. Do you have an animal in your life that might make you laugh a little bit? And he can sometimes still astound us, even at the somewhat advanced dog age of 8.5, when he launches into an amazing acrobatic leap in the woods. But he likes fireworks even less than I do. So let me take us back a few weeks to New Year's Eve, when this large, 85-pound, toothy, and occasionally fierce hound became a little lost puppy, following us around the house forever, trying to find a place where the bang-bang would stop. I don't love explosive sounds myself, but I can remember they won't go on forever. Maybe pop some melatonin, put in earplugs. No such luck for Cooper. Now, the next day, January 1st of this new year, I was with my recovery support group I lead at Evergreen Health, and I mentioned to a couple of early arrivals how much the explosions in rural Snohomish County had bothered our dog. I don't know. We were just killing time, waiting for group time. One patient, a single mom, said, "I don't know where you live, but you may have heard us. I have 2 young boys, and they love it when we set off fireworks." It gives some context. Not every boom I hear is generated by a toothless hillbilly terrorist high on meth, ordnance, and moonshine.
That's the $1,000 statement if I ever heard one.
Most may be, but not all. My patient Bethany is a caring mom, and she wants to make her sons happy. She was having family time, making memories with her kids. She was seeking the good. On a recent trip to Snow Isle Food Co-op, a short walk from here, I was grinding peanut butter when I saw a man dash into the bulk food area, hurriedly drop some leaflets on a counter, then reverse course, scampering toward the door. I was intrigued. Okay, I have to see what this is. What he left behind upon examination turned out to be cheaply printed propaganda, I would call it, warning readers they're going to hell unless they turn to a rather scary Old Testament type God in a very specific way. I want to do my part. So I helpfully scooped up the flyers and sent them to a different non-food counter location where they would be unlikely to be read. We're teamwork. unless people were seeking their reading material in the trash can. Of course, as an environmentalist, I then felt guilty that I hadn't recycled them. But it made me wonder how any rational person could think that extremely crude messages aiming to scare the reader would save anyone. I find myself imagining the man who left the leaflets and all who created and reproduced them as seeking to help those who haven't learned the truth they're offering. That one of these cartoon pamphlets would bring a new soul to their church, let alone provide eternal salvation, seems about as likely as my getting rich from answering an email from a Nigerian banker. These nameless folks, though, I have to imagine they are seeking the good as they understand it. When I encounter the nameless leaflet dropper or anonymous explosives lovers offering their random percussive soundscape as a backdrop to my New Year's Eve, or really in rural Snohomish County anytime, I have to admit, I see some nodding heads, I have to admit I feel something other than gratitude for their efforts. It brings up some anger that people are doing things I don't want them to do. I know I don't look like a dictator, but deep inside I'm all, just quit messing around and do what I want. Thank you. I do doubt, however, that a system in which I get to control everything would really work out. Part of me thinks so, but that's the part we are not going to allow to touch the steering wheel. For me to seek the good is not to seek for my selfishness to be in charge. For a larger view of seeking the good, public theologian. Now, isn't that a great job title, by the way? I didn't see that at Career Day, or I would have jumped on it. Public theologian Brian McLaren says, we as a global civilization are living destructively with our planet. We are living dangerously and divisively with one another, and we're living often delusionally within ourselves. So far, I'm right with him. In 2024, he says, let us set an example of contemplative depth and wisdom and love and peace, rather than just sinking into fury and fear and denial and despair found in so many of our times. How do we get to that good? How do we seek that? I turn, as I often do, to Father Richard Rohr, R-O-H-R, if you haven't read his stuff, from the Center for Action and Contemplation, which really, that pretty much covers the waterfront, doesn't it? You got action, you got contemplation, and everything in between. And he speaks to our current challenges saying this: we need the wisdom of someone who can love and yet criticize, one who can speak their words of correction out of an experience of gratitude rather than anger. We have to pray to God to soothe our angry hearts and spirits, to allow us to come to a place of freedom, a place of peace. We need to hold on to the truth of our anger, he says, but the danger of it is that when we let it control us, we're not a help anymore. Anger, he says, is often a necessary starting place, but it's never the full message. We've got to learn how to discern, listen to our own hearts, and hear where the voices in our heads are coming from. Are they harsh, angry, resentful, cynical voices? Or are they coming from a place of freedom, a place of peace? When I threw those pamphlets into the garbage, was I coming from that place of freedom and peace? We'll take a vote. I'm guessing maybe I wasn't. I want to be. I want to seek the good. I would like to talk to all of you for a moment about someone I've become aware of that I hadn't known about before, Reverend Howard Thurman, a figure who may be largely forgotten now, but was quite influential on Christian thought in the 1940s and for several decades thereafter. Reverend Thurman, an African American, was born in 1899 to a family of limited means in Daytona, Florida. With a fierce drive to learn, he found his way to a high school, which was quite an achievement because at the time he was ready to go to high school, in the entire state of Florida, there were 3 high schools that an African American could attend. That was it. He did good in high school. He went to Morehouse College in Atlanta and graduated as valedictorian. One of his classmates there was Martin Luther King, Sr. His work later inspired MLK Jr. Now, immediately following seminary, Reverend Thurman became pastor of the Mount Zion Baptist Church in Oberlin, Ohio, my college town. I wish I'd gone to services when he was there, but I missed him by 50 years. Reverend Thurman is perhaps best known for his book, Jesus and the Disinherited, which I've read portions of and I intend to read all of and speak to more this year. For today, I want to note we live in very challenging times. Having passed the 3rd anniversary of January 6th a few weeks back, I find myself concerned about attacks on the values of democracy itself. Perhaps not all actors in our society are in fact seeking the good, though I think most people are. Some may just be tuned into information that I'm not sure is accurate. Yet we, today gathering and online, are folks who have largely been comfortable in American society. We may face difficulties in the days to come, the magnitude of which we had never reckoned we'd have to grapple with. That's my concern. And so Reverend Thurman, who in his Jesus and the Disinherited book explores what Jesus' teaching offers to those who stand, as he says, with their backs against the wall of injustice, prejudice, and unfairness. That's his metaphor, those with their backs against the wall. That was certainly the African American community in Reverend Thurman's day. And, of course, in an ongoing way, the scope and breadth of those who find that wall at their back now encompasses that community surely, yet also many other groups who are oppressed and targeted. And it could conceivably include any of us at some point. With that in mind, may we take strength from spiritual sources if and when worldly conditions are oppressive. May we hold on to the truth of our anger, but find pathways into offering love and peace. This is a heavy topic. I took us to a heavy place. I hope that's okay. All I'm saying is hold on to the truth of our anger and find pathways into offering love and peace. That's all, being channels of God's love and peace, no matter what occurs. That should keep us busy. For this moment, as we are finding our way further into 2024, I want to bring you a poem of Howard Thurman's, keeping in mind that the last time we were here was Christmas Eve. In a way, this has a Christmas theme, but not really. You'll see. It's titled The Work of Christmas. When the song of the angels is stilled, when the star in the sky is gone, when the kings and princes are home, when the shepherds are back with their flock, the work of Christmas begins. To find the lost, to heal the broken, to feed the hungry, to release the prisoner, to rebuild the nations, to bring peace among all, to make music in the heart. Reverend Howard Thurman. That work has only started. It too will keep us busy. I was moved very much by an essay I came across around the end of last year by the writer Roger Rosenblatt. He titled this op-ed, "This year make a resolution about something bigger than yourself." He writes, "Personally, I vow I will frequently visit a children's hospital and try to distract the kids with stories. The funnier, the better. Take on any of these as a personal project as I outline them. I vow I will phone every lonely person I know, and there are plenty, at least twice a week, just to chat and make them feel part of the living world. I vow to give alms to everyone who asks and to those who don't, and to stand up for the stupid and crazy. The stupider and crazier, the better. I promise to keep an eye out for strays, cats, dogs, and people, and bring them safety and comfort. I vow to see every wrong as a menace, every wound an opportunity. The great, beautiful irony of all this," he writes, "is that selflessness is not the opposite of self-improvement. Selflessness is self-improvement, the most meaningful and lasting kind. Practice it, and you may just find that the new year is, in fact, a step up from the last. You may find that all at once you look and feel better than you would after any amount of dieting or exercise. Unburdened of ego, lighter on your feet. Say, haven't you lost weight? Practice it, and suddenly you will feel that your little life has gotten big. Big life, grand life is like art. It is not done well unless the artist dreams expansively, ridiculously, by making a glorious Walt Whitman-sized fool of herself in seeking to enhance everything, cure every ill, nothing less. A couple of months ago," he writes, "someone asked me why I wrote something the way I did, and I found myself blurting out, 'To save the world.' It was laughable, preposterous, and true." There is so much happening in this world that we can find discouraging. But we have the opportunity to practice selflessness, no small task. It won't be an instant transformation, we well know that. Over time, beginning this year, this day, this moment, May we take that opportunity to be light and bless those we meet. And blessings will come to us when we have eyes to see, when we seek the good. Last section. A few weeks ago, I was in that great spiritual Mecca of the Northwest, Linwood. Do you know that marvelous conflation of spiritual shopping malls? After randomly choosing a parking spot and climbing out of my car, my eye was drawn to a small sticker on a metal light pole. I walked over to it and found this message: "You are beautiful." How exquisite in the concrete landscape of Linwood to be given that message by a stranger who was in fact no stranger at all, but a part of God, I do believe, offering a moment of blessing to me and to all who notice and witness it. It reminded me of a day some years back when I was walking in Snohomish, heading for a bakery there, and my eye was drawn to a splash of color on a doorway. Coming closer, I saw that someone had hand-lettered a quote from Maya Angelou on a small piece of yellow construction paper and then just taped it to their door. It read, "Lift up your hearts. Each new hour holds new chances for new beginnings." My heart was lifted up. I've thought of that moment over and over and always intended to pass that love and levity to all of you. We live our lives through faith. I have no doubt about this. As I've often said to patients in the treatment center where I work, some kind of faith is a key to how our lives turn out. The problem for so many who are hurt, broken, suffering, disinherited, is that life has been so difficult on multiple fronts for so long that they live in the faith that nothing better will ever happen. And so it never does. The beauty of these messages passed to us by loving and inspired souls is that this power of faith can snowball in a positive direction. It just takes the smallest opening to let in the light. Elizabeth Gilbert, author of Eat, Pray, Love, writes about faith in a way that I cannot improve but only quote. Faith is belief in what you cannot see or prove or touch. Faith is walking face first and full speed into the dark. If we truly knew all the answers in advance as to the meaning of life and the nature of God and the destiny of our souls, our belief would not be a leap of faith. And it would not be a courageous act of humanity. It would just be a prudent insurance policy. I'm not interested in the insurance industry. I'm tired of being a skeptic. I'm irritated by spiritual prudence, and I feel bored and parched by empirical debate. I don't want to hear it anymore, she says. I couldn't care less about evidence and proof and assurances. I just want God. I want God inside me. I want God to play in my bloodstream the way sunlight amuses itself on water. That's Elizabeth Gilbert. We are boundaried by time. We who live breath to breath and moment to moment. And yet we in our finite lives can be lifted into the eternity of God, a force and a presence closer to us than our own pulse and breath and blood. We can be liberated from the limits of time and reside in spirit, moment by moment, knowing that God is not in time. Time is in God. And that's what we get to do in 2024 and beyond, to connect to the unlimited, timeless power and presence, to find ourselves another link in the chain of blessings that are offered, received, passed on, to continue the work of Christmas, to always seek the good and save the world, even if that is in fact laughable, preposterous, and true. Thank you.
Wow. I'm pretty good at the preposterous part.
I'm good at the laughable part.
But this thing about time, yes, if we're in time and time is in God, then we're in God smushing around all the time. And here's a song that you can join us on. If you'd like to stand and can stand, that would be great. You know this, 98% of you know the chorus, and the other 2% probably know the whole song. Yesterday a child came out to wonder, caught a dragonfly inside a jar. Fearful when the sky was full of thunder, and tearful at the fall of a star. And the seasons, they go round and round, and the painted ponies go up and down. We're captive on a carousel of time. We can't return, we can only look behind from where we came, and go round and round and round in a circle game. Now the boy moved 10 times round the season, skated over 10 clear frozen streams. Oh, all those words, maybe later when you're older, must appease him, and promises of someday make his dream. And the seasons, they go round and round, and the painted ponies go up and down. We're captive on a carousel of time. We can't return, we can only look behind from where we came, and go round and round and round in a circle game. Now the years spin by, and that boy is 20 or 30 or 40 or even 50. His dreams have lost some grandeur coming true. But there'll be new dreams, better dreams aplenty. We're captive on a carousel of time. We can't return, we can only look behind from where we came and go round and round in a circle. And go round and round in a
Well, thank you, Doug. What a wonderful message for this Sunday morning, the last Sunday of January. Gosh, as I was thinking about our chaplains and picked out candles for them, I was hoping that every time they light those candles, they'll think about the light that they lit in us, their light that they shared with us. And then you sang that song, Pour Out a Blessing. And then you had that message, and I thought, well, shoot, we're all doing that all the time. We're always pouring our light, pouring a blessing, pouring something out into the people around us. What a wonderful, wonderful gift. Well, now it's time to bless our offering and thank our Creator for the many blessings that we have been given and affirm our gratitude. So let's start with the truth about ourselves. And it goes like this. My name is, and you use your name, and I am prosperous, always and in all ways. Let's say that together. My name is, and I am prosperous, always and in all ways. Remember, always meaning forever and ever and always, as in all forms. So let's take our offering now. Hold it next to your heart, literally or figuratively. Think about the ways that you give to this spiritual community, the ways that you give to each other, the way that you give to the larger community, your family, friends, and let's bless it all together now. Divine love flowing through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I share, and all that I receive. Thank you, Father, Mother, God. Amen.
Okay.
Our chaplain or our ushers were into the message so much they kind of forgot the next.
I know, I didn't see that little bag going around, and I thought, wow. Wow. We come together to behold power of love, power of God. We come together to behold. We are divine.
Father, Mother, God, thank you. Thank you, thank you for this wonderful performance. If we all had singing hearts, Doug, we would just expect the good and know the good and seek the good. Yeah. So let's take just a moment to thank Spirit for this wonderful day, for our wonderful church, for the wonderful people in our church, and to thank you for the gifts that you give to our church. If you give time and your treasures and your tithes, everything is so appreciated, and everything makes our church more active and even more blessed. And thank you to all the people who make it such a happy place to be. All our techies, all our people that watch us virtually, all the people behind the scenes, and all of you. And let's remember, as we go out those doors today, be sure to let your light shine. Amen.
Well, before you go out those doors, I hope you can hang around with us for a little bit longer today. Today is a busy day at Everett Unity. After the service, we're going to have lunch downstairs. We have our next community discernment gathering. We expect it will go on until maybe 1 o'clock, depends on how chatty you all are. We don't know. We don't know how long you're going to want to talk. So come on downstairs and have lunch and join in on the discussion. And then after that at 2 o'clock today, our friend Niobe Weaver will be back with her next emotional vibration meditation program. We had that a couple of months ago, and it was amazing. Those of us who were there, I'm looking at Dawn, we loved it. It was amazing. So we are welcoming her back for another workshop this afternoon. So come and join us then if you like. So let's let our kids in now, and we will circle around the room, join hands, say our prayer of protection, and then sing our peace.